Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. What's poppin'? What's up? Dumanang Legay. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about my journey to the UK. For those who don't know, I came to the UK about 2008, and that was about 13 years ago, and I was around 14 at the time. Yeah, I came with my mom, my dad, and my sister, Kifile, and now I'm 27 years old, and that's a really long time to be in a foreign country. My first years of being in the UK, whoo, it was hard. It was the most difficult time I've ever gone through. Oh, ignore the background, okay, whatever. But it was so difficult. I was young, you know, I was still finding myself, and I was still, mommy's little girl and daddy's little girl, yeah, all that stuff. And then I think I started going to school. Actually, before that, I just finished year 7 in high school in Botswana called Marula School, private school, yeah. And then I came here, and then I think it was in January, and schools were about to open at that time, and then I came to the UK, and I got enrolled into a high school called Training. Instead of me going to year 8, which is like from 1, I skipped a year and I went straight to year 10, which is from 3, I think. Yes, and then I did my GCSEs. I passed a little bit. I failed here and there. It was my first time. I was still getting used to the whole education system from Botswana to Great Britain. I didn't know how things went about, and I just scraped through. I passed a little bit and I failed here and there, and I enjoyed a lot of subjects in high school, like GNT, which is like design and technology. I came across drama, which became my favorite subject actually, and then obviously math is still my worst enemy. I enjoyed sciences, biology, physics, and chemistry. It wasn't that bad. And then I finished year 10. I just scraped through, and I went to year 11, which is my GCSEs, and I did the mock exams, and then I did the final exams. I finished. I went straight to college, and I applied to college, and I chose performing arts, first diploma in performing arts, and I did that, and I finished it in 2010. I did, and I went to extended diploma in performing arts, majoring in acting, and then I finished that as well. And here I am today, years later. I think the fifth year of being in the country, I started getting used to how things worked, and I started having friends. I went out a lot. High school was cool, college was amazing, I had friends there, and I got used to everything, and it became my second home. And And then now I'm still here. Years later, I'm still kicking and alive, and I'm still enjoying the country. You know, the one thing I can't still get used to is the weather. This weather is so unpredictable. Okay, it's cold 1 second and then it's hot the other. Like when it's winter, it's cold. When it's summer or spring, it's still cold. The weather is never ever what it says it is. Right now we're on summer holidays and it gets cold most of the time. Sometimes it can become a bit warm and hot, but still humid. Then halfway through the day, the weather changes, it rains out of the blue. Like, I still can't get over the weather. And then I went to Botswana last year, 2019. For the first time in 12 years, I left the country. And I went there for like probably like 2 weeks. And when I arrived, wow. I felt like a foreigner in my own country. I felt like I was just flying by. You know what I mean? I got there, I touched down, I went to the airport, I went to South African airport, everything, Botswana airport, everything looked like so different. The whole Gaborone looked so different. It became just a strange place for me. And I was like, I want to come back to UK. I was so dead as bored. And though I enjoyed the weather, it was hot as hell and I enjoyed it. Oh, I got to see my brothers, I got to see my sisters, my cousins. You know, I got to see my grandmother after 12 years. Do you know how amazing that feeling was? I even broke down and cried just because first face I saw when I touched Gaborone, I was literally in shock. I saw my aunt for the first time in 12 years and I broke down, like literally broke down, like breathing in, like, you know that crying where you're so overwhelmed you can't breathe. That's the kind of crying I actually did. I hugged her so hard. I broke down and I literally couldn't even stop crying. She comforted me and I was like, okay, this is real. I've been not home for so long. It's so overwhelming. There was so much emotions, happiness, sadness. I was excited, I was in shock, you know, I was everything in one. And I had only 2 weeks to experience that. So I spent a few days in a lodge called Crystal Lodge. About 5 days in Crystal Lodge, and then I drove to where I used to live, which is Pique, for those who know what that is. It's a small town in Botswana. And then I went there and we spent about another 3 days in Studio Pique. And then my brothers came to see me and my mom. And then my grandmother and my uncle came. Oh, that feeling was amazing. It was like, you know when you eat something for the first time? That was me. It was so nice. I ate everything I could at that hotel. I went from Paleche, Siswa, Boroso, ice cream, everything. I ate and ate my butt off, like everything. Okay, and it's hella expensive though. Water bottles are hella expensive. That's like 13 pounds. Not 13 pounds, 13 bula. I ate everything. Like, and then towards the end of my we were about to check out. That's when I started realizing that I need to stop eating too much. Everything was a bit salty, like the meat was salty, everything was salty, but I ate this pizza. It was like a cheese pizza and it was hella salty. but you all need to slow down on the salt though. But anyway, moving on. As I said before, I go to Pigway, and then my grandmother came, my everything came, and my two uncles came. Sipo and Galamoy, they came. It was so nice. I hugged them. I had the best time. Okay, it was just pure magic. And then I realized there's something called there's no place like home. When whoever created that quote, there's no place like home. That is the most realist quote I've ever experienced. Once I stepped in my motherland, it was like I'm free. I didn't need to feel excluded. I didn't feel pressure. I just enjoyed my life, my whole holiday. It was amazing. And then it was time for us to leave, and from Pigway we drove all the way from Pigway to Mahalape, then Soro, to meet up with my other aunt who lives there. And then I saw her, her name is Sitle, by the way. And then we drove all night to Gaborone. We arrived in Gaborone about 12 p.m. And mind you, we were leaving that day, the next morning, about 4 a.m. we were leaving for the airport to come to fly to Botswana airport, to South African airport, then to London Heathrow. Okay, so the whole night we drove, and we arrived in the other crystal lodge from the main mall, the President Hotel. That's it. And then we slept a few hours, and then about 6 in the morning we got ready to drive to the Sisarakama airport to board our flight. We got there, we spent there for a few hours, and I was with my cousin Chawa and her friend, and it was like, the sweet goodbye, bittersweet. But I needed to come back to the UK, and we did. 12 hours flight, and I came back. We arrived in the morning at Heathrow Airport, and we came home where I live now, right now I am today. And to be honest, I enjoyed that whole trip, even though the first 3 days were hard. I really enjoyed that trip. So my whole journey of me coming to the UK and going back home 12 years later, and then coming back to the UK, it was a long awaited trip that I needed to refresh my mind and my love for my country. And I still love Botswana, and I'll always do. UK has become my second home. I've embraced it with all my heart, and I'll always will. In terms of me going back to Botswana and starting the life there, I don't know. But most definitely I'll go back to Botswana to visit and see my grandmother, see my extended families. But to start a future again in Botswana, I don't think that is going to happen, because I've lived in the UK for so long that it's become my stable place, my home, where I have roots now. I have other families who live here now. I have my life here. Everything that I've known since I was a child is now in the UK, and there's nothing I can do about it than just embrace it. Botswana will forever be my home, but UK is now, it's become my second home, and I'm enjoying it. I've become accustomed to it now. I know how everything works. And when I went to Botswana, I was like a lost sheep. I didn't know where anything was, really. Like stores, malls, everything was a struggle. Money was a struggle. Going to town was a struggle. Just everything was a struggle. But it's because I haven't been there for so long. But I think if I had more time, maybe if I went to Botswana for like maybe 6 months, I would get used to it again. But as in terms of now, it was hard, but I'm still enjoying the UK. I'm planning to go back to Botswana and visit. I can't stay in the UK forever, of course, but my life is here now and I'm enjoying it. But anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and see you soon. Peace.